welcome back to the channel from a glorious Wentworth house. So today we're going to talk about, oh no, I'm not going to tell you. All will be revealed very soon. So I can hear you thinking, so your dogs must be well socialised because you're a dog trainer, right? So why do you need a muzzle for your dog? Well, there's all sorts of different reasons, but I can tell you that all my dogs are trained to wear a muzzle. So let's just think, what other reasons might you want to have a muzzle on your dog other than it's aggressive? Whether that's aggression to people or to other dogs. So what about when they get a cut or a sore or they've had to have an operation, anything like that? Everybody puts a buster collar on. So hands up anybody that thinks their dog likes wearing a buster collar. Not many. Doubt it if there's any of you out there that thinks their dog actually likes it. Most dogs hate buster collars, so why don't we think of an alternative? Now, a muzzle isn't going to work in some cases. The muzzle is not going to be helpful for certain things, certain cuts, certain operations that your dog might need to have. The muzzle isn't going to cut the mustard, but in a lot of cases, you know, if it's something relatively minor and your dog is used to wearing a muzzle and isn't able to get its little tongue in between the holes, then actually a muzzle is going to be pretty useful. Like, lad, go on in, go on in. So a muzzle will let your dog run, sniff, have a roll, whatever your dog wants to do, the things that dogs tend to enjoy. The muzzle doesn't tend to get caught on things. You have got to be careful, obviously. You're not going to let your dog run through a wood, for example, in a muzzle, because it might get caught on trees, branches, etc. But on open land, it's absolutely fine. Dogs love to run. Most dogs love to run. So allow them to run through the use of the muzzle, but still keeping them in the way that your vets advise with regards to that cut or sore or whatever it is that you might need to wear a buster collar for. But it's just an alternative that your dog then is much happier about. Allowing them to still go for that walk. Most buster collars, even out in an open space, they try to sniff the floor, they smack the buster collar, gives them a jolt in the neck, and they're just jolly unhappy. And that's not good for anybody. So this is a basket muzzle, that's what you call it, a basket muzzle. It's made of plastic. It's got a little leather insert there for the bridge of the nose. And then in the front bit it has a little piece that if you stick your fingers in, I always forget how to do this, you can actually take that little piece out. So that means that if you've got a very long snouted dog, you can still get this one to fit. But if you've got a normal snouted dog like this dog is, then you would leave this piece in. So that just allows for that little bit of adjustment. And then if you've got a cheeky little dog as well, that if you don't have that piece in, they can somehow get their teeth right up to the bars. They're very clever at little things like that as well sometimes. So this one is a size 9. Obviously they all come in different sizes, different makes, so it's not like I've got shares in Baskerville, but it is a really versatile tool. I've had this for donkey's years. It's just a bit of plastic at the end of the day, but you can chuck them in the back of the car. They just wipe clean really easily. You can just give this little nylon a bit of a clean with some soapy water and then make sure it's rinsed out well. They're just really easy to use, and one of the main things about these is the depth. So as you saw with Michael, when Michael had this on, it allows your dog to open the mouth fully and pant just like he is now on this lovely sunny day. That's really important. Any of the other types of, they're called muzzles, I don't think they are muzzles, typically have an open bit at the end, so they still would allow a dog to nip, and they don't really allow the dog to open the mouth sufficiently, like Michael is now, to pant. So it's really important that dogs are allowed to pant. So to start to teach your dog to wear a muzzle, start with a treat and the muzzle. So you can usually flex these open a little bit. Sit. Have a treat that's big enough to go into the bottom of the muzzle, and then allow him to take it from the bottom of the muzzle, and then allow him to put his head out again. And just keep repeating that until he starts to get an association of the muzzle being a good thing. You do need to make sure that your treats are big enough so that they don't drop through the holes. That's it. So you just keep letting him do that over and over again over like a week. Sit. So then after he's happy doing that, you would put the muzzle on, flip it up, make sure his ears are out of the way. Oops. There we go. And then I would still treat him, but put in the treats through the bars at the side. Generally speaking, dogs clue into this really quickly. Oops. There. Your long ears don't help, do they? Just move your ears out of the way. And then take the muzzle off again. So that way your dog starts to associate the muzzle with really good stuff that he likes, and that's what you want. Now he wants it back on again. So then once he's got used to doing that with the muzzle, putting it on, taking it off, putting it on, taking it off, then I would put the muzzle on, oops, and hook it up, normally do this standing up. Make sure his ears are out the way and he's comfortable, and then take him for a walk straight away. So that gives him something to think about other than the muzzle or my treats. Cheeky minky. So, because obviously eventually you've got to get him off the treats so that he just accepts wearing the muzzle. And the easy way to do that is for him to associate the muzzle going on with him going outside. Thank you. Cheeky. Good boy. So different types of muzzles. You can get ones that they don't have a closed basket. They're just like a piece of nylon round your dog's nose, and they can still allow a dog to nip at the end, because the very end bit is still open. But what they don't do is allow the dog to pant. They basically force the mouth closed, and they would come round the mouth like that, just allowing this little end bit. And you can see now he can't pant. The other important thing, even if the dog doesn't want to pant, is some dogs don't like that feeling. Dogs' mouths are really important to them, and you can see even just me closing his mouth, he's not very happy about it. It must make them feel very constrained, so it tends to make a dog more anxious when they've got those muzzles on. So the basic basket muzzle is the best thing, whether it's plastic like this, which I think is great, or it's wire like you would see with greyhounds. That's definitely the one that you want. Just make sure that the size that you get is right for your dog. Normally pet shops, you can take your dog in, you can literally size up against the size of your dog's head. Take a good guess before you take one home. The smaller the number, the smaller the size, and there you go. So what other reasons might we want to use a muzzle rather than a buster collar or any other device? Well, I think a muzzle can be really useful if your dog has a nasty habit of eating horse poo, dog poo, and you've got no option but to walk in places where there's lots of it. So obviously the muzzle is going to stop them from chomping all of that stuff, but at the same time the dog's going to be allowed to go and have a run and smell all of its stuff. So the last reason I would advocate for you to train your dog to wear a muzzle is for the sort of scenario that we all hope will never happen. But just imagine your dog's had a horrendous injury. However, you know, that's okay, it's been run over, whatever. And you're desperate to get your dog to the vets, but it won't let you touch it because it's in so much pain. If you've already trained your dog to wear a muzzle, you can pop a muzzle on and know that you're not going to get bitten just because the dog is in so much pain. You really need to get that dog to the vets. It's a super safe way to be able to then deal with that kind of scenario. So the final consideration, bizarrely, is about if you actively wanted people not to come up to your dog, whether that's to meet their dog or just because you've got a good looking dog and people want to come up and stroke it, and for whatever reason you don't want that. One active way you can, I guarantee, stop that is your dog wearing the muzzle. So people have these little harnesses and leads that say nervous or do not pet or whatever, and people ignore them and they just come right up to your dog or say, oh, can little poodles meet your lovely dog? But if your dog is wearing a muzzle, I absolutely guarantee nobody will come up and touch your dog. Nobody. And you know, like me today here in beautiful Wentworth, I did a little piece round the house with him wearing the muzzle and nobody came up to me, nobody spoke to me. And what I normally get is people going, what a beautiful dog, isn't he gorgeous, what is he? Absolutely nobody, just because he was wearing a muzzle. So yeah, just worth a consideration. Forget all of those harnesses and dog bandanas and things that say whatever. Simply put a muzzle on your dog and nobody will come up and touch your dog. Guaranteed. So I hope you've enjoyed this little video. If you have, give us a like and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hopefully there's going to be another video coming your way very soon. If you do have anything that you want to ask about this video or you've got any suggestions for next time, please do drop that in the comments below. Thank you very much and take care. Bye.